Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. While so many other cities are in a financial mess, the mayor of Ontario says his city is financially fine. He's with us here to talk about how he's done it all these years. Paul Yon, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks, Leslie. It's great to be back.
Yeah, good. How is it going in the city?
Well, we're doing well. We certainly have our topics of discussion and issues that seem to take priority. But when it comes to fiscal solvency, the City of Ontario is doing quite well.
Yeah, budgets aren't very sexy to talk about, but without the cash, it's hard to keep the city rolling. How have you managed to stay financially healthy when you have so many forces working against you when you're balancing the budget?
Well, it starts a long time ago. We took precautions when everybody else was throwing caution to the wind. We had a very good city manager at the time named Greg Devereaux, who's currently the county CAO. Yeah, he left us a few years ago, but he left us in good shape too. I was a new councilman 13 years ago, and Greg had just come on board the City of Ontario. And he was telling me a lot in those days that not to get caught up in overspending or growing into your income because the economy is cyclical, which is something that I didn't completely understand at the time, but I do now.
13 years ago, people weren't talking about that so much. I heard somewhere that you kind of saw it coming, this subprime meltdown in the mortgage industry.
Well, we have some really perceptive staff members in our finance department. Grant Yee and the others, and Greg, foresaw that the subprime rates couldn't sustain, and they were warning us a good 2 years before it all fell apart that this bubble's going to burst. So we began to fund unfunded liabilities with all of our budget surpluses.
Fiscal responsibility is always good. If that is the case, so what do you see in the future that you need to be especially careful of in maintaining financial health in the City of Ontario?
Well, we have a vision statement in the City of Ontario that it is our job to create and maintain economic value. As long as we stick to that vision, we should be okay. And what we do is we work with the business community to create and then maintain that economic value so that we can say in the City of Ontario, it's a very easy place to live, work, and play because we invest in businesses that invest with us to create jobs, and more jobs.
But then there's just the reality that revenues have been down. So there's that reality, and there's also the reality of certain expenses. How are you dealing with the police and fire departments and pensions and things like that in your city?
Well, we have been working with the police and fire department unions for years, and they always committed to us that in the good times, if we were going to share good things with them, that in the bad times that they would come around and understand that there was a need to reduce some of these liabilities, which we were one of the very first cities ever to go to our unions and say, look, and this was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we started saying, look, this cannot sustain itself, and in this next go round of your contract negotiations, there need to be some give and take, and in actuality, they were the bigger givers, and they did it. They didn't do it reluctantly. They did it because we needed to.
Ontario Mayor Paul Yon, always good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for giving us the update, and thank you for joining us. I'm Leslie Leyton.